Number 10. Masterpiece, $165 million. In his pop artwork, Masterpiece, Roy Lichtenstein uses Band-Aid dots and speech bubbles from comic books to encase narrative text. Instead of being oil on canvas, it is canvas with overlaps of acrylic and silkscreen ink. Old comic book art served as inspiration. Agnes Kuhn sold the piece to art collector Stephen A. Cohen for $165 million in 2017. The current market value of the piece is approximately $174 million. Prior to the sale, Kuhn had the picture hanging for years over her fireplace in her New York home. Number 9. Reclining Nude, $170 million. Amedeo Modigliani, a well-known painter, created this oil-on-canvas piece titled Reclining Nude back in 1917. It is one of his several reclining naked portraits created in the style of Renaissance painting. Number 8. Les Femmes d'Alger, $179 million. Les Femmes d'Alger, or Ladies of Algiers in English, is the title of a series of paintings by the renowned artist Pablo Picasso from the mid-20th century. Throughout his career, he produced 15 variations, including Les Femmes d'Alger version O, as a tribute to his close friend Henri Matisse. Les Femmes d'Alger version O was the final piece of Pablo Picasso's series of 15 oil paintings on canvas. Several people claim that Eugene Delacroix's picture, The Ladies of Algiers in Their Apartment, served as inspiration for the artist. In 2015, Christie's New York sold the Pablo Picasso painting for $179 million. Nobody knows for sure who purchased the masterpiece by the artist, but there are claims that Al Thani, the former Prime Minister of Qatar, was the purchaser. Number 7. Pandem Portraits of Martin Solmans and Option Copied, $180 million. To commemorate their impending marriage, Rembrandt painted these portraits of Martin Solmans and Option Copied in 1634. Since their inception, Solmans and Option Copied's portraits have never been separated. These two paintings, according to experts and art historians, should always be shown together. The two portraits from the private collection of the notorious Rothschild family were sold in 2015. Together, the Louvre and the Rijksmuseum paid $180 million for both paintings, splitting the cost down the middle. The highest sum ever paid for a Rembrandt piece was achieved at this auction, setting a new record for the artist. The two artworks will be displayed on rotation between both museums so that they are never separated and the public can enjoy the masterpieces in person. Number 6. $186 million. Number 6, a work by Mark Rothko, is one of the most important works of modern art ever produced. It is also known for the part it played in the Bouvier affair involving Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev and his art dealer Yves Bouvier. Rybolovlev stated that Bouvier was a thief who defrauded him out of hundreds of millions of dollars by overcharging the already pricey artwork. Whatever the reason, Number 6 set a new auction record for Rothko when it sold for $186 million in a private transaction, making it one of the most expensive paintings ever. Number 17A, $200 million. Pollock's well-known picture from 1948 was made with the use of liquid synthetic resin paints. The yellow paint that is spilled on the canvas is a magnificent example of Pollock's drip painting technique. Pollock created this piece on fiberboard rather than oil on canvas with oil paint, just 1 year after the drip technique was made public. It was featured in Life magazine in 1949 and played a big part in Pollock's career taking off. Kenneth C. Griffin invested $200 million in 2015 to add it to his private collection next to Interchange by Willem de Kooning. It is on loan to the AIC, despite being one of the most expensive paintings ever sold. Number 4. Nafeafai Poipo, $229 million. Translating into English, into When Will You Marry Me, this oil on canvas by Pollock was created more than a century ago, in 1891. The composition was inspired by Gauguin's first journey to Tahiti in that year. It is one of the artist's many oil on canvas paintings of native Tahitian ladies. Two young women are depicted in the picture sitting against a magnificent background of gold, blue, and green. Although the buyer of this priceless painting has never been officially acknowledged, many people think the Katari royal family made the purchase. Number 3. The Card Players, $250 million. In the 1890s, Paul Cézanne created a number of well-known works that have variations on the same main theme. These pieces of art featured various representations of men playing cards while seated at a table. Cézanne is well known for his post-impressionist style, and this specific painting is an oil on canvas. Overall, Cézanne created 5 versions of these paintings, which vary in size, subjects, and locations. The royal family of Qatar sold this example of the card players in a private transaction for $250 million in 2011. It was one of the most expensive paintings ever sold at the time, up until Interchange broke the record. Number 2. Interchange, $300 million. This oil painting on canvas was created by Willem de Kooning in 1955. The painting would sell for an astounding $300 million 60 years later to become one of the most expensive paintings in the world to ever sell. De Kooning was well known for producing works like this abstract expressionist painting during the post-World War II era of art. He belonged to the New York School, another name for the abstract expressionist movement. Following the conclusion of World War II, this form of art gained enormous popularity, and other well-known artists in this field include Lee Krasner, Hans Hofmann, Anne Ryan, Adolf Gottlieb, and Franz Klein. Franz Klein persuaded de Kooning to substitute quick gestural motions for his frequently aggressive brushstrokes. De Kooning was best known for painting women before Interchange, but he later switched to painting abstract metropolitan landscapes. The most money ever spent for a painting at a private auction belongs to Interchange. The painting broke the previous record for one of the most expensive paintings ever. Kenneth C. Griffin acquired the well-known oil painting for his personal collection from the David Geffen Foundation in 2015. The Art Institute of Chicago is now borrowing one of the most valuable paintings in existence. Number 1. Salvator Mundi, $450 million. In 2017, at a contemporary art event, Christie's New York held an auction of the top challenger for the title of most expensive painting ever. Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi was sold for $450 million after a protracted bidding battle that lasted 19 minutes. A Saudi Arabian prince who represented the Abu Dhabi Department of Culture and Tourism won the auction and purchased the painting in New York. For a long time, the painting of Jesus Christ holding an orb and making the sign of the cross was thought to be an imitation by the artist. Then, in 2006, it underwent restoration, making Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece easier to see and analyze. So it was reattributed to him and placed on display in the National Gallery in London for 5 years. After leaving the National Gallery, Salvator Mundi quickly became the most expensive artwork in history and the most expensive by Leonardo. you.